Hey, BIS 301. Happy Sunday, January 20th, right? Yeah. Well, okay, today this might be a longer than usual video. I walked over to campus and down by the MU to put this together. Beautiful day here, but I want to dispense with the small talk and dig right in. Okay, let's dig into this here. It's actually kind of warm out. Excuse me. Um, okay, so module. Let's start with module one. The worksheets, the introductions. Wonderful. Pleased to get to know you, to meet you, however, virtually, and to find out how many country music fans there are. Okay, that's fine. Also, what did I think I thought was up? I think I finally jumped the shark in terms of music. I mean, it's like out of like 70, I recognize two songs. That really bites for me, right? Okay, so they were good. But let's face it, it's easy. Module one, it's introspective, right? How do you get it wrong? You just do it, right? Okay, so now let's get into module two. All right. All right. Now let's go over to general type of comment. This doesn't pertain to any assignment, anything, but it's time to step up your game now. Okay. I think I mentioned that in version one that the work increases considerably after module one, and module two is kind of like halfway there. Module three is absolute destruction. Four, five, and six aren't any more fun, but there's a lot to do. Okay, so I don't want you to waste time doing things you shouldn't have to do. I just knocked something over. My tea. Okay, so let's um, let's get to a let's get cut right to the chase. Okay, I found out this morning, thanks Kate, that the syllabus, me, screwed up, okay, big time. And it's likely the reason that the discussion board two was, let's say, less than sterling in terms of comprehending the disciplinary pyramid and the definitions. Um, I had the syllabus for module two to read chapter two. Well, it should have been read chapter two and three. I think in my uh, desire to spread things out more evenly, I think I moved three to chapter three to module three. Very stupid move. Okay, you guys missed the entire chapter on defining intra, cross, multi, inter, transdisciplinary. You missed it. And I'm assuming you'd have the text and you'd have read it, and it would have given you a heads up a little more than the things I saw. There was obvious confusion. Uh, whether it's the example that I wanted you to use, some of the basic formatting I wanted you to use, and there's a disconnect. Okay, I'm finding out this morning that I'm going to take the hit for that. Okay, so before I get any further, let's just say that chapter three is the one you need to read about this stuff. Okay, anyone who did the discussion board. Okay, I don't care what your score was. It's up to you. But you read that chapter, send me an email with a definition. Don't copy and paste it or word for word, but whatever you can do. Okay, just give me the definition of intra, cross, multi, inter, and trans. Okay, disciplinary. Give me the definition of those. Give me one very brief example. Anything you want. Just give me an example. Anything you want. Okay, and I will give you 50 points on your discussion board too. Okay, all right. No questions asked. Let's do that. Okay. I'll feel better. You'll probably feel better. I understand it's a little more work, but you're already probably most of you are at least halfway there, if not more. So it just depends if you want to jack that up to 50. Okay. So do that. All right. Send me that. I apologize for that mix-up. It's really terrible. I should have known that. consequently, Module 3, I changed to read Chapter 4, which was the appropriate chapter for Module 3. Kind of weird, but okay. So let's just get into a couple of housekeeping items. Remember what your major is. I think 70 out of 72 of you, your major is what? What is it? Marketing and engineering? What is it? No, it's interdisciplinary studies. Okay, that's your major. Tell me if I'm wrong. Times have changed. I doubt it. But your degree is in interdisciplinary studies. It's a Bachelor of Arts, right? When I graduated, it was a BIS, but now it's BA in interdisciplinary studies. Um, you have concentrations that are not listed on the diploma. I don't think. I don't know. Which is another reason why you've got to take this IDS degree and sell it. Sell it based on, your elevator pitch. Sell it with your cognitive abilities to connect your concentrations, which may be disciplines themselves again. But remember, you're not doing a double major. You're not doing a major minor. You're not taking two disciplines. You're a Bachelor of Interdisciplinary Studies. It's very, very important. Okay, in fact, Easter egg number one is IDS is my major. It's one of the longest ones I ever had, but IDS is my major. That's Easter egg number one. If you're the couple of people that isn't, just let me know that, okay? And I'll let you have that. Okay, so next tip is to get off the multidisciplinary mindset. You've gone through the definitions through some of the readings, but now you've got the correct chapter to read. However, let's go back. Some people say that multi and inter are the most confusing because they're basically the same, right? Except for key ingredients. All right. So multidisciplinary. Let's take the Domestic Terrorism Committee example. The multidisciplinary committee would represent, let's say, sociology, religious studies, economics, criminology and law, political science. Okay. The interdisciplinary committee would do the same thing. Would represent the same ones: sociology, religious studies, economics, criminology and law, and political science. Sorry, I got a nice wasp or something now. I want to make friends. Okay, so the difference between the two, the committees are exactly the same. Multidisciplinary committee is not tasked to work together to integrate anything. I mean, okay, I shouldn't say that. Work together is fine. Okay, they can get together their committee. They get together and they work together. All right, they're not tasked to do any crossing of the boundaries. Okay, they just they have a good time. They go out for happy hour. They work together, talk about how far along they are in their reports, blah, blah, blah. Maybe some small talk, maybe talk about some disciplinary differences, but for the most part, they're not tasked to work together. They're not tasked to integrate. Stop it. Work together. That's more of an informal thing. The interdisciplinary committee is tasked to integrate. Their endeavor is to integrate. They've got to do a lot more in terms of communicating with each other, to defining the boundaries, defining their differences, defining whether it's in vocabulary or what have you. In theory, find common ground and ground that's not common. Very important point. Okay, so I want you to get off the multidisciplinary mindset. Okay, so that every time you think of IDS and your degree, you think of it as integration. Yes, we could use some other terms, analogy and everything, but I don't like them. I like integration. It's just simple. IDS, integration. It takes you that bridge to what the difference is between that and multidisciplinary, which you are not. Yeah, if you want to take a double major, you're multidisciplinary. If you want to take a major minor, you're multidisciplinary. But you're interdisciplinary. You are taking two concentrations, but your desire and task and endeavor is to integrate them, okay? So let's crank it up a little bit. I know I confused some people on that example, but I wanted to emphasize that look at the disciplines, not the occupations. First come the disciplines, then come the occupations. You're not interoccupational, you're interdisciplinary. So disciplines is the key factor here. This is where the key dynamic I'm trying to introduce you what it is and what it isn't, okay? The disciplines from your reading, the silos of academic knowledge that don't really cross and how we try to do all these metaphors that build bridges or connect islands or blend fruit or paint houses for elephants. I don't know, right? Okay, so let's see. Now, getting into just regular housekeeping, I sent the email out. Don't want to belabor it, but make sure on your worksheets and any other paper, I don't want an abstract. I don't want cover page, title page. I don't want table of contents, okay? I don't want highlighting. I don't want italics unless absolutely necessary, except for your maps paper, and that's about it. I don't want references either. You don't have to do these things. No citations. Because if you're going to go and step over the line and do citations in your discussion board, well, I caution you that you better do them right, okay? All right. And that's the problem. You just can't throw in somebody's last name, Meath, in parentheses and think that, and then not list it, you're jumping into that formatting. You don't have to. Discussion boards are just like us communicating, having a discussion. And if we're having a discussion and I'm not going, well, Repco 1985 said, and at the end of the conversation, here are my reference list. No, it's a conversation we're discussing. Okay. I mean, there's going to be some discussion boards that I'm going to ask you to find articles or things like that. Yes, common sense. Okay. But like I said, don't go overboard with abstract stuff. I don't want it. I don't care if APA says so. Okay. There's differences in all kinds of work from dissertations, theses, research papers, um, regular papers, term papers, articles. They can all be done in APA formatting, but not all of them require every bell and whistle of APA, okay? So just work with me. I'm trying to keep it simple. Times New Roman 12.5, double line spacing, okay? No highlighting. Um, what's that put? Okay, Word doc, only words, okay? If you take the syllabus quiz, and one of the questions is, has to do with only allowing Word, and you submit the syllabus quiz in pages, that's just not a good look. Um, okay, so no italics, that's necessary. Don't try to get fancy on me here, okay? I can tell the difference between a prompt and a response. If you double line space, you can indent, I don't care. You can bold it, bold the questions, fine. I just don't give me all these colors and italics and fonts and single line spacing is the worst, people. So hard to read it. Um, I don't have any problem with you using the questions or the prompts that are asked in the paper or the discussion. It's very easy then for me to differentiate what you're doing instead of me going in there with a magnifying glass looking and saying, okay, dissect it. Did you answer this question? Did you answer that one? So, except for the plan of study, I guess, the intellectual autobiography, those are really narratives, okay, basically. The maps is more categorized, okay, so you'll be fine there too. All right. Let's get into Easter egg number 2, and let's say IDS is about integration. IDS is about integration. This is how I want you to, these are long ones, but I want you guys to really get hardwired on this, okay? And hopefully, if you go back and read chapter 3 and look at the disciplines and disciplinary focus, you'll get a much better, clear understanding of how these things are different, how intra is one discipline and how it's not inter, okay? Intra, cross, multi, inter, trans. You get an idea about these things and get them done. And this is your foundation, okay? All right. So I'm sorry, this guy just walking up to me and leaving something on my desk with, oh my God, I'm telling you. Sorry. All right. Excuse me, I'm doing a lesson on video here. I need you to leave. Thank you very much. All right, I'm on 14 minutes. I think I'm doing this whole thing over again. Somebody wants to sit with me, and all right, I don't know. All right, okay, so um, sure, it threw me off a little bit. All right, so again, we're kicking in high gear. Why don't you get straightened out with number 2? Why don't you have that option to clear that up with me? I don't have to say anything more about it. Again, though, if you want to talk to me over the phone, absolutely fine. Set up an appointment with me. I think tomorrow, tomorrow I'll be downtown though, working with a colleague on the new BS 31302. That'll be like from 10 a.m. until noon. So I'll be open all afternoon and evening up until about 7 or 8 Arizona time. The rest of the week, I'm pretty much open. I've got a couple appointments, but and a class on Wednesday. But just let me know if you want to talk about any of this. I'm happy to. Okay, just happy to. All right. I don't like doing emails back and forth, about all this. I'd rather talk. All right. So let's get into um, Module 3 preview. Okay. There's a lot of stuff going on in this one. All right. I'm already at 15 minutes, so it's a long video. Um, RepGo Chapter 4. Okay. It's about cognitive toolkit. It's about intellectual autobiography. Okay. Go through that closely. All right. You're going to also read, we'll go over the actions overview, of course, read the objectives to the module, and then look at Chapter 4. After that, the readings is Benson's 5 arguments against interdisciplinary studies. Benson is an IDS advocate. He's playing devil's advocate here, and he's writing the 5 arguments against. These are so important to know because I'm sure you have the same questions in your head, and I'm sure that other people ask the same things. It's so good to know what are the arguments against IDS. Okay, then you get to read Newell's response to Benson. Okay. Very important works in this field, all right? The arguments against and Newell's response, all right? Very helpful in digesting what IDS is and what it isn't, all right? Not the easiest read copy-wise, I guess, but very informative, right? All right. Then you can also look at a debate that we're going to have it on basically on the discussion board, okay? You're going to read articles from AZ Central, Arizona newspaper. They're about 3 years ago. No, it's 3 years. I think they're years and years ago, okay? Decades maybe, all right? But they apply, okay? It was when ASU started having an IDS program. Granted, it was 3 years, I think. So a professor wrote to the newspaper really criticizing it. One of our deans, I think, wrote back, pushing back against that. And then the professor actually apologized, did not understand what he was talking about. Very important reads, okay? You're going to get in a discussion board. I'd like you to think about these things, and respond to the discussion board appropriately. You know the drill, right? Okay. Then you're going to get into a plagiarism unit. This is now it's round 2 of this thing. And you're going to read the 3 articles about plagiarism and take a practice quiz. It's like a game, okay? It's really old school video type game, but it will help you. Trust me, it will help you. I don't know how many times I've done it to understand plagiarism, what it is, and how to avoid it. Okay, because then there's the plagiarism quiz. You want to be prepared because a lot of students come back and say, well, I really don't disagree with that answer in number 4 or whatever. I explained it to them, they're wrong, So stick with it. It's a quiz, right? You get one shot at it, all right? Then finally, you got your intellectual autobiography that's due, okay? Now, you'll find the rubric. I talked about it in here. The rubric, you read page 335 to 338 or 337, okay? And it talks about intellectual autobiography in Appendix A, right? It talks about these things, okay? It also shows a different type of intellectual autobiography, the mind map, cognitive thing, multimedia, I guess. Stay away from that unless you're really good at it, okay? Because I'm telling you, if you do it as a shortcut, it ain't going to fly. You're going to get chopped down, all right? Not that I want everybody to have to write a paper. In fact, I'm going to post, when I send out this email and on the announcement, I'm going to post a link to the only video I've ever gotten for this assignment. And it will rock your socks off, okay? So if you think you can pull this off, then go ahead. But it's not easy, okay? But Ms. Davenport did a phenomenal job. I sent it to our dean. I said we use it in our marketing, okay? I'm also going to post a link with it in terms of a cross-disciplinary TED Talk. That has to do with cross-disciplinarity. I think you'll find it interesting. It's only about 3.5 minutes long, 4 minutes, but it really does give you another example of what it looks like to be interdisciplinary, cross-disciplinary, multidisciplinary, and to be able to see things from other perspectives, right? Okay, so back to the text on this then. On 338, we start the rubric on this. Okay, this is your rubric for your intellectual autobiography. Take a look at it. I think I'm doubling it. Whatever the points are there, I double it to 50, I believe it is. Let's see. Yeah, I almost forgot. I got the rubric and the plan of study. That's due tonight. I'm gonna get that scored probably Tuesday or Wednesday. Okay. And let's see, we're running at 20 minutes, the longest one ever, but I didn't have to expect to apologize and correct my reading there. Okay. So remember, email me questions or to set up a call. Happy to do so. I can't answer everything here, can't predict everything. Might shoot you out an email in the middle of the week. I don't know. In any event, you can all get mad at me, but go Saints, go Patriots, because I got a pool and I got the Saints, so, and not Kansas City. All right. So Easter egg number 3. All right. It's a long one. Interdisciplinary is not multidisciplinary. Okay. So interdisciplinary is not multidisciplinary. You got all 3 now. All right. And you can send me those. We'll get the show on the road. I'm going to get this posted this afternoon. And if I forget anything, I'll add it on an email. But all right, let me know how it goes, okay? And shoot me those emails about discussion board 2 if you want to, and we'll get those grades up to 50 points, all right? So, forks up. Have a great weekend. See ya.